The morning sun was just starting to paint the ridiculously manicured lawns of Harmony Heights a sickly sweet shade of green. Harmony Heights, the name itself was enough to make you gag, especially when you knew the kind of petty tyranny that lurked beneath its perfectly trimmed hedges. John was halfway through my first cup of coffee, a dark bitter brew that was the only thing keeping me from crawling back into bed when the knock came. We weren't expecting anyone, and in this neighborhood unexpected knocks were rarely a prelude to anything good. It was usually a misplaced Amazon package, a lost dog, always a ridiculously small happy breed, or God forbid Karen. Whitemore. I set my mug down with a sigh, the ceramic clinking against the countertop. Karen Whitemore, the self-appointed queen of the Homeowners Association, a woman whose veins probably pumped pure, undiluted vinegar. I stretched, cracking my knuckles, already bracing myself for whatever fresh hell she was about to unleash. Swinging open the door, I found my suspicions confirmed. There she stood, clutching a clipboard to her chest like it contained the launch codes for nuclear war. Her lips were pursed so tightly they almost disappeared, a sure sign she just finished sucking on a lemon, or more likely reviewing the HOA bylaws. We need to talk, she said, her voice dripping with the kind of artificial politeness that made your teeth ache. I leaned against the doorframe, trying to project an air of casual indifference, even though my insides were already churning. Karen, I said, managing a weary smile, it's barely past 7. It's too early for whatever this is. She ignored me naturally. Karen Whitemore was a force of nature, and pleasantries were merely obstacles to be bulldozed. She thrust a folded piece of paper into my hand. Your brother is in violation of our HOA guidelines, she declared, her voice rising slightly. If this continues, there will be consequences. The word consequences hung in the air, heavy and ominous, like a poorly aimed threat from a low-budget supervillain. I knew before I even unfolded the note that it wasn't going to be good. My brother David War, veteran, was the problem. I unfolded the letter A, sense of dread pooling in my stomach. It was typed, of course, in that sterile, official-looking font that HS seemed to adore. My eyes scanned the page, and then I nearly choked on my own spit. Mr. David Carter, I read aloud, my voice dripping with disbelief, has been seen repeatedly wearing unauthorized attire in the neighborhood, specifically military camouflage. This disrupts the weight for it visual harmony of the community and may be intimidating to other residents. I blinked. Read it again seriously, I asked, looking up at Karen, who stood there, a statue of smug disapproval. Her expression didn't change. Varia leaned back against the doorframe, shaking my head. You're telling me my brother, who just got back from serving his country, can't wear camo in his own His nose twitched as if the word country itself was a personal affront. It's not about him, she said, her voice tight. It's about the rules. Policy clearly states that residents must maintain a neutral and non-disruptive aesthetic within community spaces. I took a slow, deep breath, trying to maintain some semblance of calm. I did heard ridiculous things from this HOA before, but this was next level. Karen, I said, rubbing my temples, do you have any idea who my brother is? I don't care if he's the mayor, she shot back, her eyes narrowed. Rules are rules. I couldn't help but laugh, a short, sharp bark of disbelief. If only she knew. Inside the house, David was in the kitchen, already making coffee. He heard the muffled voices, the edge in Karen's tone. A flicker of annoyance crossed his face, a tightening around his eyes. He'd been back less than a week, trying to decompress, to find some semblance of peace after everything. The last thing he needed was this kind of nonsense. I walked back inside, still chuckling darkly. You're not going to believe this, I said, handing David the letter. He took it, his expression unreadable as he scanned the page. The easy smile that had been slowly returning to his face over the past few days faded. He finished reading, exhaled slowly, and handed the paper back. They have a problem with me wearing camo, he stated. Not a question. Oh, not just camo, I said, barely containing my laughter. They think you're disrupting the visual harmony of the community. David tilted his head as if waiting for the punchline. When it didn't come, he simply nodded. All right. I narrowed my eyes. That's it, all right. A slow smirk spread across David's face. Oh, I'm gonna have fun with this. Karen Whitemore, standing on her perfectly manicured lawn, felt a surge of righteous indignation. This blatant disregard for the rules, it was unacceptable. She pulled out her phone, already opposing a strongly worded email to the rest of the HOA board. This would be dealt with decisively later that day. David was in the backyard grilling steaks. He moved with a practiced efficiency, flipping the meat with the tongs like he was conducting a delicate military operation. He was wearing camo pants along with a plain black t-shirt. They have a problem with these, he asked, gesturing to his pants with the tongs. As I handed him a beer, I took a swig. Apparently they're a threat to the aesthetic integrity of Harmony. Heights, David snorted. I've dealt with warlords who had more flexibility. I grinned. I can't wait to see what you do. The next morning I woke up to find David standing in front of the bathroom mirror brushing his teeth, but it wasn't the morning routine that caught